Hey there, Wargamers, Justin here and Painter, and today we're going to talk about cleaning your models. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. If you're a new viewer, please strike that like and subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for tuning in to help support what I do. And with that said, let's jump into today's topic. So one of you guys, one of you kind viewers here on YouTube had written a recommendation asking if I could showcase how to clean some of the mold lines off of Battletech's minis, specifically this kind of soft plastic. And I have brought out some tools with me to work today to show you guys how I approach cleaning the mold lines off of these. It's not the easiest thing, but maybe this will give you some tools for your tool chest to help show you what I do and see if that might make it a little bit easier to clean the mold lines for yourself. So that's it. Let's go ahead and flip it around here, and I will show you the minis I've got here and a few of the techniques I use to try and clean the mold lines. All right, guys, so for tools today, I'm going to have X-Acto blade, hobby blade. This is one of the Monument Hobbies ones that I like. So any kind of X-Acto blade will work. We've got another X-Acto here with a different blade in. I picked these up from, I think it was Hobby Lobby, and I think this is a chisel style blade, but I've got one of those. And then I've got this wire brush that was recommended from a YouTube comment. So you're probably familiar with this. We use this for scraping and some cutting. For this one, because of the way it pushes, you're not kind of scraping like this, you're kind of pushing to cut. So that can help with some mold line removal. And then this one, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just something that seems to kind of work, and I like it, and I'll show you guys. So in terms of cleaning the mold lines, one of the first things we want to do is identify them. So for this guy, we've got a Marauder. We've got some nasty ones here, some on the tops. I'll show you guys kind of how I will approach some of this. So first thing I would do, obviously being careful not to cut yourself, is some of these you can kind of go with the model. And I'll try and do this on camera so you guys can see. And we'll just kind of lightly shave that. I'll cut towards myself too, being very careful, doing kind of a scrapey motion, which sometimes helps a little bit. I will say that this type of plastic tends to kind of curl a little bit. You'll see it kind of curling, so the kind of shaving towards it instead of scraping works a little bit better. If you're coming from Warhammer 40K, scraping is the most common thing that you're probably used to doing. So you're going to end up doing a lot of kind of kind of slicing actions to get stuff off. You're going to get some areas like here on the top that you might be able to do kind of a slice. But some of this I end up kind of scraping as well to smooth it back out, and then just kind of pray for the best. It's not the easiest thing to do, but this is kind of what I would be doing. Which obviously you're watching me, which is what I am doing. And this one's not curling up too bad, but some of the areas right there were rough. And then you got this area right here. Not the easiest thing to get in at either. So you end up kind of having to lean into the scraping and then come back and kind of, if it's curling, try and cut that back. But this is not necessarily rocket science, just something that you got to get a feel for. Now some of these are going to be a little bit harder to deal with, and this, obviously I cleared it, this one with a standard X-Acto blade, but this one being more of a kind of push mechanic. Showing you guys how to do this on some models, this might be a little easier. So just kind of push, almost like a little chisel. And then you may end up having to come back in with your standard X-Acto and get some of the flake that's left, because again, it wants to kind of curl. But you can use this tool as well, depending on where the area is you're trying to target, to shear off kind of some of the mold line. Let's see if we can get one to go here, and be very careful with this, because if you slip and you stab yourself, it's going to hurt. So just be very careful. And I think I got this tip from Gold Bishop Dave Alsager. I believe he is the one who recommended trying out this type of blade. He does a lot of meticulous cleaning and kit bashing. And one of the things I'm doing here is I'm bracing the bottom of this. So as I'm pushing, I've got a lot of control to kind of make sure that I'm doing this safely and controlling where the blade goes. Because when I'm way back here without putting a finger on the underside to really brace, I feel like I've got a lot of wiggle room, and I really just want slow, methodical movements and not accidentally slip. Now, with this, we can come back in and try and clean up some of these areas that we were scraping before. And I was really shocked with this when I got a recommendation for it. I didn't think it was going to work that well. But then one of the guys on YouTube recommended it, so I ordered a set of these like brass bristle brushes off Amazon, something that you might use for like a gun cleaning kit, and they work pretty well. And one of the things that this helps highlight is like right in here you can see where I missed some mold line removal, so it lets you see where that is, and you can come back in and do some cleaning. But I find once I've done my shaving with the X-Acto blade, coming in with this is really nice to go over everything to kind of get some of those burrs or curled up plastic that is there. It also lightly scuffs the surface without making like deep scratches, which I feel like whether, I don't know if this is actually helping, but I feel like it has helped with paint application too, because there's like these micro scratches, almost like priming. So my primer adheres really, really nicely. But you can see like the difference between that arm and this one. This one's got a little bit more of a sheen. And then we can come in and try and get some of these areas that are hard to get with an X-Acto blade, like down in the arm areas. This can kind of help some with that too. Also, when it's hot outside, be careful because these barrels on the Marauder are very fragile, and it's soft right now, so it's really kind of malleable. You can kind of see where that's helping out a little bit here. Not perfect, but definitely a tool for your tool chest to see what might help you get your mold lines removed and clean, or at least identify where they are to let you start scraping and then come back in with this to get your burrs up. Again, this looks a little weird, but I promise you it's an interesting tool for your tool chest, and honestly, I almost dismissed it when it was recommended on, I think it was a YouTube comment, I almost dismissed this and just was like, nah, that seems silly. And I was like, well, you know what, I got plenty of plastic mix, I can throw one away if I mess it up. And then I tried this and I was like, yo, this is really nice. And again, you can see like the difference in the way the plastic looks once you've done this. So it's really nice and helpful. Some of the delicate stuff I'd be really careful up here with. This is going to end up being more of a kind of scrape situation. And with this one, I'm trying to go kind of in a cylindrical, or with the cylinder of it, the curvature, so I'm not flattening it out. I want to get the mold line and then clean that off. Come through with this, try and help clean the burrs. And let's see, missed some right in here. And then we've got this side, it's got a smaller one, so if you need to target down in here, which this side had a little bit of spot there. And again, it's very hot in the shop right now, so this is super malleable, and it's kind of being floppy on me here. If you're in an air-conditioned room, probably not so bad. And there you go. Much like with your blades here, making sure to be careful not to stab yourself. These can be prickly if you jab straight in, because they're really thin, pokey metal. Not the end of the world, but when you're cleaning, just be aware that if you jab, you might prick yourself. I don't think I've ever made myself bleed, but sometimes I'm like, ow, that hurt. I'm going to give you a quick look at this guy as we wrap up here with using this tool, because you're generally going to see a lot of mold lines up on top of the arms and so forth. But I like to give like nice good scuff here. Kind of backward motion, kind of round motion here. Scuffs up everything. Let's get the top of that arm. I've also got, they don't work as well on these, but I've also got some sanding sticks from Green Stuff World that are really nice as well with variable grit. Sometimes I pull those out, but it's rare. It's got to be like a really detailed piece that I'm super worried about. I find myself pulling that more out when I'm prepping pewter models and having to clean stuff up, but don't use it so much on these. So yeah. Kind of see how we're going with the scuffing. And this really highlights that there's a mold line right in here that I would want to target for cleaning. And you can see how that the plastic again is kind of curling up, unfortunately. And I apologize for the camera angle I'm trying here, but I could not get the camera above my head given the current setup at the shop. So kind of showing you guys what I'm doing and then trying to move my hand so you guys can see the motions we've got. So trying to clean that off a little bit, and right now it looks like a hot mess, as you guys can see. We'll come in here with this, try and clean that up. Find that helps get the burrs, and you can still see a little hint of that mold line, so I would have to come back in, do some more scraping, use this to help get the like curled up resin, or not resin, plastic. So again, I find this to be a nice tool in the tool chest. to couple with your blades, and that might help you with cleaning your mold lines. That said, the only tool I don't have here that you might look into, which I've mentioned, is some of the sanding sticks from Green Stuff World. They're foam ones, and you can kind of bend them, cut them into smaller pieces if you need to get down in crevices or hard to reach places. If I thought about it, I'd brought some with me, but I didn't, so that is something you guys might want to consider. I do think that this is probably going to do you just fine. Honestly, probably just this and maybe one of those. This if you're really worried about it. So hopefully that helps you guys out. And there you have it, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. If you got some tips or tricks that are different than what I'm doing here that you want to showcase or talk about down in the comments below, please do so. If you found this helpful, let me know as well. If it wasn't, also let me know. Love to get that chat going down in the comments below. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like, subscribe button. But that's all I've got for you today, so let's go ahead and sign off. As always, keep painting your models, keep cleaning your mold lines, roll those dice, and I will catch you guys next time. If you made it this far, you're probably a viewer that already hits that like button when you see a video come up. You're probably already a subscriber, and you probably jump into the comments down below to help support the channel, to help support that algorithm. But if you're looking for some other ways to help support the channel too, make sure you check the description down below. Maybe you want to pick up some paints from Monument Hobbies. That's my paint of choice. The Pro Acrylic line is chef's kiss, good stuff. Maybe you want to check out some of the offerings from Death Designs, where I work in my day job. We got plenty of 3D printed products, as well as MDF terrain, some of the stuff that I have designed myself and we play with here on the channel. And if you're looking to bolster your Battletech ranks, miniatures, and offerings, make sure you check out Bobby from Fortress Miniatures and Games. He's one of the main supporters of the channel as well, and supporting any of these companies helps support what I do and helps to ensure that I can continue to bring content to all of you. If you want to become a super supporter, I highly recommend you guys check out the Patreon. You guys give that extra little edge to help push more content out, and I really do appreciate that. And my ultimate goal on the channel is to continue to be able to not only put out the content we have now, but to get to a point where you can put out more content later, whether that be battle reports or painting tutorials or just more rambles, anything at all. I'd like to be doing more content for you. This is something that I enjoy. I like being able to cast a light into the darkness to bring a little bit of hobby positivity to all of you and make you feel good, and also enjoy playing games myself. As we do the final sign off here though, I do want to go ahead and switch on over and do the scroll of awesome to showcase all the Patreon supporters, the super supporters of the channel, to give them some recognition for helping support what I do. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time.